We're not using mics right now, right?
You might. It's been plugged in for a couple minutes. Try it.
It'll die in 10 seconds.
I know, but you need it with YouTube.
We'll try it. Pick me up.
If anything, I'll just sit over
I
there.
think this one died. With no aftermarket parts at all on it. Stock. So on your stock Jeep Wrangler 4.0 straight 6, we got some parts today is what I'm saying. I found a guy on the interwebs who had a Holley sniper, and I traded him some hunting equipment that I don't use. One of them I can't use in the state of Ohio because it's a bottleneck anyways, regardless, whatever I got rid of. We're going to do some bolt-ons on my 4-liter Jeep Wrangler. So over here on this table is all the crap that I just got. Bring them over here. Bring them over here. So we got a brand new, this guy was super cool, super easy to work with. We got a brand spanking new Holley sniper. It's the original, it's not a Sniper 2, but it's brand new. Should not have the ECM problem. And since it's on a tunnel ram and it's this far from the distributor, we shouldn't have any electrical interference problems. Brand new sniper, everything that goes with it, all of the original wiring still in the bag. We got the MSD dual sync harness, and you may think, well, why do you need a dual sync harness? Well, we need. We also got a brand stinking new for the dual sync, a MSD 6AL digital box. We got the MSD Blaster 2 coil. And you might remember, I didn't have a distributor. Well, this old dude knew what I was up to already. And he said, I gave him 2 of the pieces of hunting equipment. And he said, I have a dual sync MSD distributor. And I said, here's the 3rd one, my buddy. And he gave me this brand new in the box Holley EFI dual sync distributor. I got everything we needed out of one deal.
Oh yeah, this is amazing. We were getting this thing sooner than we thought.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to stop us, you'd think, would be like a fuel pump. No, I got one. Yep, it's right here. Nope, it's right here. A brand new inline fuel pump that's produced by Holley, which means that the fuel pressure is going to be correct. Everything. Dude gave me everything. I gave him a llama. Yes, which is why we have this now. But I gave him a llama Minimax 9, a Savage Axis all-weather stainless black stock, and a Hatfield 20 semi-automatic. So altogether, I think those are worth like $1,800. This is like $3,000 worth of stuff. I'm not mad. Guy was very happy. I'm sure he got this stuff on a steel deal. I'm very happy because I got it on a steel deal. And I didn't have nearly that much in any of the stuff that I gave him because I got all of it on trades. So I'm out $0. But this is all brand new in the box, never been installed. I opened it all before he left and boxed it back up. But like, it's brand new. Everything is brand new. Don't stay away from me. Don't spray it in front of the fan. Stuff's nasty. But super excited. I needed all these parts, and he had everything. So it came with the gasket. It came with the little hold down for your wires. It came with everything. It's like a $500 distributor. Super excited. It's like Christmas. But everything that we were short on and needed, he had it all. So he even He even had the brand new in the box MSD coil holder bracket thingy.
Now we can see more live and I can't work to do.
I can have all this installed in about an hour. So I guess I'm going to have to go slow. Which is going to make some people mad, but that's okay. Can I have one of them razor blades on the ground over there? They're right next to the bubble level. They're on the ground. Thank you.
Is the Holley sniper a square bullet or a square bullet?
Square. I was hoping to get a sniper 2. That's why we had $2,000 on the list, because it's about $1,900 and change for the sniper 2. There's nothing wrong with the sniper 1 other than the fact that they continue to cook ECMs, which is why Holley was doing the buyback program. Yeah, brand new in the box. I just cut the tape, never been opened. Brand new MSD 6AL box. And it's got a rev limiter. Yeah. Yep. I forget how the rev limiter works in the 6ALs. Is it a chip or do you set it? I bet you set it. I don't know. I can't quite get my fingernail in there. We will figure it out. There is instructions in the box. You know what else came in the box? Speed stickers. Speed stickers, 100%. We got MSD ignition stickers. Oh, yeah, that was worth every penny. Look at that. Oh, doubled up. This thing's going to be fast. So, everything we need. I've never installed an MSD 6AL. This is going to be new to me because I usually run HEIs. I've never ran a dual sync distributor before. But with the 6AL and all that stuff, this sniper is meant to work with the dual sync. I don't even know if I need a 6AL because a dual sync distributor is part of the instruction and part of the wiring on the sniper. Somewhere in here. It's been a while. Because when you're setting it up, you can tell it that you're running a dual sync. But anyways, we got crap for days. Yeah, right here is the Sniper EFI dual sync harness. So this should plug into the distributor, and this should plug directly into my sniper harness, I believe. Like I said, I've never plugged one in. I knew these things existed, I've just never used them. I usually just run this with a HEI, which means you set this up completely independent of your spark. There's no advance or retard that this is capable of doing because you set it and forget it. But we got stuff. Yep. I wish I could set it up there and look at it, but yeah, I could because I got the gasket. It's right there on top of the oil pan. The only thing I don't have is a timing cover gasket, but you know, silicone works just as good. I also don't have a flywheel, so even if we do get all this stuff put on, plumbed, and wired, I still can't turn the engine. So we're getting there. We're just getting there one piece at a time. That's just a lot of pieces. I'm excited. So now I have to test fit. The oil pump for that motor is the one that we were sent. I'm using it on that motor because it seems healthy and I don't think there's any particulates in it. They're going to hurt the pump. So when the stroker motor is done, we'll inspect the oil, cut the filter, and make sure there's nothing in it. And as long as it's safe and clean, I'm going to use that on the big motor. That's for the big block. Yeah. The 350 has a little carbonata. Probably not. I don't even know if mine's charged. Yeah, we're still on. So the 350 has a little 650 Holley right on top. But I don't even know if this ready to run will fit in the 350. Let's find out. I am not going to run a several $100 dual sync distributor in this 350. That is just not going to happen. I'm sorry if it makes you mad, but this distributor is not going to go into an engine that's going to die. That is goofy. Yes. Fits for days. Fits for days. Will it fit on the big block? That's what I'm worried about. So we're going to run over here and I'm going to see if it'll drop in. I don't have the base gasket or anything on it. I'm just seeing if it fits. If it fits, we'll go to top dead center. And well, I can't drop it in here yet. We're still waiting on lifters for the big block. We are too close to the firewall, so. Does she want to go home? Do you want to go home? This is where you live now. Yep. Drops all the way in. And we have rotation, which means that my spark plugs or my wires are not going to be hitting
Did you get wires from the guy also?
the intake. No, I did not get wires. I got everything except wires. So wires aren't super expensive. I can't afford them right now, but we have everything we need to wire it, plumb for fuel. I don't think I have enough fuel line to plumb my return, but I think I have enough to plumb my feed.
Are you going to run 9 mil wires?
Usually run 10.5s. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. They both work good. So I am going to find the plug wires that have the little tits on top so that I can run this really trick boot, because that just looks good. I know that you'll never be able to see it because it's going to be behind a tunnel ram, but it's bougie. I gotta have it. So take all the stuff I need out of the box. Well, probably not. I'm actually going to put it back in the box. If you can't tell, I'm a little excited. I don't usually get Christmas this late in the year, because I don't want this thing falling off the table and getting all jacked up. So we'll put her back in her resting place. I still got to get lifters for the big block. So until we get the lifters in and get the intake actually glued on, this has no purpose of being outside of the box at all, in the slightest. So put that stuff in here so don't lose it. Let's get a little sneak peek. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. I'd like to take the carburetor studs off before I set it up there, but let's get a little closed hood action. If I was going to buy one, I was going to get the shiny one. But since I didn't buy it, I didn't have that option. It'd be about like that. It's just resting on the studs, but there has to be a 4500 to 4150 adapter. So that's literally how high it's going to be. Plus an air filter. Yeah. Can they see that? Yeah. But we can go ahead and plumb some wires and get fuel system roughed in now that I have a pump and everything else we got to have. So this also has no business being outside the box until we at least get the adapter and get the intake on so that we can bolt it down. But I'm not super happy that it's a Sniper 2, because the Sniper 2 is wider, or the Sniper 1 now. But the Sniper 1 is wider than the 2. The 2 has more of a body of a carburetor. So I got fuel line, but I don't think I have enough, like I said, to do. I think I can make one run for the pressure side, but not the return side. So start with a little bit of that. No. Hold this.
What fuel pump are you gonna run?
I'm going to run the one that I just got today. I will give you the numbers and specs on it momentarily. I just want to see how much fuel line we got. I might have enough, but we'll be stretching it, which I'm not a big fan of having just enough. So what I'll probably do is go from the tank up here and then just wait to terminate it until we get the sniper figured out so that I terminate it once instead of wasting 6 inches. And then we'll see how much I got left. But the pump that came with my kit is a PRD 30768, which is an N-line external pump. So this will sit on the frame, go from the tank to the sniper. So pretty trick little piece, pretty nice. Oh, it even came with the bracketry. Isn't that nice? So we can go ahead and plan where that's going to go. As close to the tank as possible. It's going to be under the Jeep because the fuel outlet. I don't know if I'm going to use the same one. I'll show you in a minute. So the fuel outlet that he was using is on the bottom of the tank. And in my opinion, it's more of a drain than an outlet. Because on my fuel tank, if you guys want to go for a jog with me, bring you on back, on back. Oh boy, tripod problems. I keep forgetting we're live. So on my tank, that's where I keep my trash can. Sorry guys, we're over here with the trash. It has 3 ports on top of the tank, one being a send, one being a return, and one being a rollover vent. Which I don't know how good you guys can see under here where my hand's at. Can you guys see in there? Yeah, you can see in there. So right here, I have 3 ports. So one of them is a feed from the tank, one of them is a return to the tank, and the other one's a rollover vent. For my rollover vent, I'm just going to lay some line down here and put at least 2 coils and wire tie that. And that what that'll allow is if I flip over, it won't just spray fuel everywhere. So we're going to go from this, whichever one it is, out. I'll probably mount my pump just underneath the body on the frame. And then we'll bring it back up to the front. So let's see. Adjust the whiteboard numbers. Yeah, she was actually trying to adjust the whiteboard when we got started, but I'll have to actually look at it and go through it and check it out and change stuff. But the $2,000 on the bottom of the board, that's gone, so we don't need that. So I was pretty happy. Can I make YouTube front face so I can see who I'm talking to at the same time? How do I do this? This button? No. This button. Boop. There we are. Hello. So we got the sniper, we got the distributor, we got the coil. We got the fuel pump. We got at least one run of fuel hose. We got the fuel fittings. We got everything. I don't know. I'll have to do some research on that 6AL box. I've never used a 6AL box. I know they do some pretty cool stuff. We have a rev limiter now, so we won't blow it up on accident. It's pretty cool. But I do have to get the 4500 to 4150 adapter for the intake because it's a 4500 flange, or dominator flange, some guys call it. That's what I used to call it. But when you ask if it's a dominator flange, dominator is a style of carburetor. It's not a flange style. It's 4500. Which one? Are you going to serpentine belt conversion? I'd like to. The serpentine belt conversion that I looked at is about $450. V belts are like 130. So the sooner that we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, yes, I will be doing a serpentine belt. If we put the belts on before we get there, probably V belts. That's what I got. Okay. I need to pick something and bolt it on. I don't know what to pick. Like I said, it's like Christmas over here. You guys like the fan here? It's pretty nice. What are we doing? What are we doing first? Quickens throttle response. I have to do some research on that. The coil is something simple. I know where that's going to go. Sorry if it's boring to you guys, but to me, it's awesome. So what we're going to do is my coil bracket, trash bucket, MSD coil. When he said everything was brand new, I was like, no, it's brand new. Brand new. Do what? Yeah, he said, what do you do? I said, I do YouTube and a little bit of TikTok. He's like, oh, that's cool. I was like, heck yeah. He even asked for the YouTube name. I think with the Blaster 2, I don't have to run a ballast resistor. Yes, I do. So we need a 0.8 ohm resistor. Yep, that's fine. So it'll be a 12 volt source ballast resistor. Positive side of coil. Negative side of coil goes from point or amplifier trigger. Look at me. It's too shiny and I'm kind of nervous. Should we go low and just hold the bottom of it? Or do we cover up the sticker? I say we clench onto it low. You got to have that Blaster 2 shining. Screwdriver. Screwdriver? Yeah, not a chance. Nope, not a chance. Hello. That's a screwdriver.
Here you go, baby.
Who's that? Oh,
Kyle.
Kyle. Got him his hat today. Thank you for your order, Kyle. Hope you like it. It's tight enough for now. I don't even know if that's going to work, but you're really supposed to hold them from the middle, but you got to have the sticker showing. So I'm going to figure out how to do it with the sticker showing. Should have some self tappers laying around here so I can blast this thing into the firewall.
So thanks again. I love the hat and sticker. Everyone should get them one of these hats to help their friends.
Appreciate it. So I'm not going to be using this fuel pump anymore. So what I think I'm going to do is get rid of this and then mount my blaster right chunder. Don't go nowhere. That's all right. 11 mil maybe, something like that. Let me reach over here and grab me a. Oh wait, all my tools are in the back of your car still. Hey Cheyenne, can you go get me Mom's car keys by the front door on the bookshelf? Okay. Well, momentarily waiting. The old fuel system got kind of chopped out of it, so.
We show off Kyle.
Show off Kyle. Yeah, you can show off Kyle. Show his hat. Yeah, he does. He might be in there. Those are the stickers that will be. Those stickers will be coming with every hat order. Open the trunk. Oh. Yep. Might as well put it on this here wobbly fender. No. 10 mil? It's probably going to be neither. It'll be a 3/8. And no, it was. What we got? It's only money. Come on, baby. You okay? Okay. You okay? You okay? She's okay. Anyways, I should probably put it somewhere like right here where it's solid. It makes sense. Thinking.
You said that was my 10 seconds of fame, lol.
I'm not going to use the heater core, so I don't care if it lays right on it. But if we go slightly left, I could still use the heater core if I want to. Decisions. Yeah, it's as good a spot as any. Let's go right here with it. I have plenty of clearance for the lightning hose that comes out of it. Go ahead and scribe a line there.
Send it.
Pretty much. That's what we do around here. Can you, I'll let the chair hold that. I don't need to drop the coil. That'd make me cry a little bit. I just got it. No, I dropped this. This has a warranty. That does not. The Snap-on guy might be mad, but it's got a warranty. I'm using the wrong tool for the job per normal, so it's kind of what we do around here. All right. I'm just banging this screw in here where it has no business being. Probably gonna put a hole in the heater core. Believe it or not, these don't come with air conditioning. Who would have thunk it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wrong direction. Wait, is it the right direction? Nope. Tis now. There we go. Let me jam the other one in there. And I think if we do this, if we do use the 6AL box, I'm probably going to mount it internal because of the nastiness this thing may see in its life. And I don't really want it to get all gross. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Send it home. Only the best quality stuff over here at Harvey's Garage. Hold that. Oh yeah, we're in. That'll look pretty cool next to the blue valve covers. And if I ever want to use the heater core, I'll just slightly bend that over if I didn't drill a hole in it. What I'm saying is I have no intention of using the heater core. Kyle from TikTok. Heck yeah, Universal AC. You let me know how good that AC is on that Universal kit. Like if it's shooting ice cubes, that may be something that I am tempted to get for this Jeep. Ain't nothing like being out in the woods and then trying to get your rig unstuck and then being able to chill in the air conditioning. It's worth it. So we have a coil. We have a distributor, which we test fit. Now we've got a bunch of wiring for a Holley sniper. So these, I dropped my purple wire. Some of the wires that I never used before, I'm going to use because of the dual sync stuff. But this is your main power relay and fuse for the Holley sniper. You can mount them about wherever you want, but I usually try to keep them close-ish. Blue wire is for the fuel pump. Red and black are your permanent battery. You do not fuse them because it's already fused with the Holley sniper's wiring harness. It's always like I remember these things because I've done it like a lot. So, do what? What do you say? That's pretty cool. Kind of like a Tesla. Kyle's going EV on us, one piece at a time.
Kyle needs to YouTube it.
Next thing we know, Kyle's gonna have a solar panel on top of his Jeep. It ain't gonna make no noise anymore. So, whenever I mount these, I usually try to keep it, like I said, as close to the battery as possible, and that way you can cut a bunch of this extra spaghetti off. Now, this Jeep, I want to do it clean. I'd like to keep this for a while. So This plugs into an adapter that comes off of your sniper. It's got a little bit of slack to it, which I need to check because of my height going through the hood. I need to make sure how much slack I have, which is going to tell me where I can mount them, basically is what I'm saying. I've never mounted one on a tunnel ram that was 2 feet tall before. So what we'll do is I'll get my sniper back out, and set it up there ever so lovingly, because that was a bread tie. There's that purple wire that I dropped that I'm going to lose. You stay in there. Now, which one of these wires? Pretty sure that's the O2 sensor wire, handheld wire. It's this one. It's got a good amount of slack to it. So I'll cut this wire tie that's got it all bundled up. We'll see how much length we got. Last thing I want to do is drill a bunch of holes in my Jeep and have to undo it. There we go. Oh yeah, we got slack for days on that guy. It's this one right here. Nope. Yep, this is your main wire for all of your internal stuff, your fans. I think we're gonna have plenty. Dollar up here. Don't you go nowhere now, you hear me? Don't you start going anywhere. I got one of the studs sitting in a hole, so. Oh yeah, we got plenty of space. We'll be able to sneak down behind the intake and run it over as far as we need to. So I can go anywhere in here. That answers that question. We got plenty of length. I didn't remember from the past how much length I had. But we got it all, is what I'm saying. Fuel pump wire is almost long enough for this Jeep Wrangler to go all the way back to the tank. That's cool. Pink wire, if you're ever trying to set up a sniper temporarily, you hook up this to the battery, you go to your fuel pump, if you're running the fuel pump, and this pink wire right here will turn the system on. As long as you have this harness plugged in and this going to a switched positive, it'll turn on the handheld, it'll turn on the sniper, everything will power up. So I explained a lot of this in an older video when we did the S10 and the square body of how this wiring works. But it's pretty painless and it's very forgiving. It's not, none of it is too hard. Yeah, if I come running, she just slammed the door in my face. Right. I used to have a bunch of real pretty black self-tappers. Do I still have them? Yes, I do. And she takes off when I come. Choose some of these. These are fairly cheap on the Amazonian website. So they're pretty good quality, painted black self-tapper. Whenever I'm bolting black plastic things on, I like the screw to match. You can go to your local hardware store and get the silver ones or the galvanized ones, but they kind of stand out. I'm trying to quiet it down a little bit, that's what I'm saying. Do what? What's dying? On my thing? Well, if I have to go back to screaming at the camera so that they can hear me, I'll do what I must. Okay. I don't know how far we're going to get tonight. I'm just playing with it a little bit, banging some stuff up. You also don't want a lot of your electronics draped over where your coil and whatnot is. These are going to be okay because it's literally just battery positive. But for your signal wires and stuff like that, you kind of want those away from this. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty. We'll be able to hide some of them wires underneath the battery box, figure out what we want to do with them, tidy them up, put some wire loom on them. Clean's what I'm going for. A little cleaner than normal. Bring that back up. Easy, Johnny. You're trying to snap it off now. Okay, you're going to argue with me, so I'm just going to set that down. It's going to go all the way to the floor. All right, I've had enough. I have the right tools for the job. I'm just not getting them. Let's get the right tool for the job. Didn't need those anymore. Yep. Now's when I'm not going to be able to find the right tool for the job. You guessed it. Still going to make it work. What size is this? 8 milli. The old long barrel on her. That'll do it. Now I can spin the screw faster than not moving. Looky there. Ain't that wild? Come on back up to me. Go to your home. Okay. Now we should be able to tuck this up and around. Nice and clean like. Sneak these wires into the battery tray. Terminate those later. My plug for my sniper. She's going to stay. Let's loop that there. That's where it's going to go. And this blue wire is going to have to find its way all the way to the back of the Jeep. I do not run a relay on my fuel pump wire. Some people asked me in the past, because I do a lot of snipers, because I like them, should I run a relay? And in the book of the Holley sniper, it says that you do not have to, because that is what this relay is for. So Set those up there. We got our first sniper plug in there. And for anyone wondering, that was just a 1/4-inch adapter chucked into a drill. It's also why it was so long. So tonight, I'm going to go in the house and read this thoroughly. Believe it or not, I know how to read. A little scary. I got both my eyes back. I can read really good now. So I'm going to read very thoroughly how to set one of those up because I never have. What I also want to do is grab the paperwork out of the dual sync box because I've never set a dual sync distributor up before and read that because I ain't never done that before. But where was the paperwork for that? The paperwork on the distributor is pretty self-explanatory, but I need to remember that it wants a 0.8 ohm resistor. It actually gives you a MSD part number there as well. I'm going to take this in the house. I got some research to do is what I'm saying. It's a lot of really expensive gear, and I'm not going to sit here and buy dollar store parts and watch it burn up. What do we got here? Oh, a fuel filter. Do I want to run this? Who makes a PRD 30671? Kinda. Because if it's from overseas, I'm probably not going to run it. I'd probably be more tempted to run this 33003. Is a PRD 30671. Because these 33033s are a Wix filter, and it is solid metal. Be Holley? So it's a Holley part? Okay. I'll run that. Okay. Well, since it came with all the Holley parts, I would assume it was part of the kit. I'll probably be wrong. I've been wrong before. Here is the Sniper Dash. If you buy this separate from all the rest of the Sniper stuff, this is $350. It's ridiculous. So don't drop this neither. That's what I'm saying. You already bought it, so don't break it. But these are pretty slick, and they give you way too much wire. I mean, you're talking like all it has to do is go through the firewall, and I've got 15 feet of wire on this thing. But this is what it looks like. It's not powered up, but that's what it'll look like on the dash of your hot rod. Or you can do what I've done in the past because I didn't want to advertise that I had a hopped up unit. I've done it a couple different ways. I've left it loose and tucked it underneath my seat, and I've also routed it through the glove box. And that way you can open the glove box, check out your rig, and make sure she's running good. Close the glove box and forget about it. On the Jeep, I'm going to mount it to the dash. If they can't figure out by the Holley Sniper sticking through the hood that it has a Holley Sniper on it, I'll give them one more hint. It's going to be pretty simple to see what we got going on, but just in case they didn't know, give them one more. I don't know quite where I want to put it. There's a lot of flat spaces in there, so we'll probably run that. I don't know if you guys remember the inside of my Jeep. You might be new to Harvey's Garage. So in the center of my dash, off to the right side, like above the gear shift, the guy before me put a bunch of aftermarket gauges and stuff in, and there's a nice flat spot. So I'm probably going to mount this on that flat and then tuck the wires back in. and shoot them through the firewall. This does have to plug directly into the Holley's harness right off of the throttle body. So we'll run that through. Just showing it off in case you ever ain't never seen one before. But you got that. Then you got this big wiring harness that looks really intimidating to some people. And I promise you, this is the simplest, easiest, user-friendly install just about that you can get. So they send you a bunch of wire loom, which isn't really enough for everything, but it's enough to get started. And then you got this big mess of spaghetti here. And people get scared when they see the spaghetti. And so do I. I'm not a big wiring genius myself. But here's where it gets really easy. They wrote on every single wire what it does. So all you got to do is sit here with your squints on and have a peep at it. If you look long enough, it's going to say output 1, output 2, input 1, input 2. It's got all these real symbols. And if you've done one for a while, you know, I believe it's light blue. It's light blue and something else is your fans. Because your light blue is output 1, which would be fan. And maybe it's pink. Nope, digital gauge output. Output number 2. So blue and teal are going to be your electric fan controls. So if you wish to use electric fans and have the Holley control them, you run this output, which is a negative, to your relay. So you hook up the positive small wire. If you buy the relays I got, there's 2 big ones and 2 small ones. So you output the other small wire to the positive on your fuse block, and then you run the positive and negative to your accessory, which would be your electric fan, accordingly. And then you can set your heat or your temperatures of which you desire your fan to come on and go off in your sniper. And it just does it right here with the dark blue. You call that green or turquoise? That's it. It's the only 2 wires you need in this whole bundle if you're doing what I do. Now, I may be wrong because of the whole dual sync thing. Maybe this has something to do with it. I've never hooked one of those up before. But you're going to hook up this to the main off of your sniper, run the rest of these back through the dash, minus the fan control wires. You're off to the races. You can also, if you desire, just run your fans the old-fashioned way with a relay and a switch. You don't even have to plug this thing in.
Are you in contact with online mechanic tips?
I should be. I know a lot about snipers because I've installed a few in my day. That's the only reason I'm familiar with them and I kind of know what's going on. The Sniper 2's wiring, way different. But here is why they're not so scary. If you already have a Sniper 1 and you do the buyback because your Sniper's ECU craps out on you, you can send your Sniper 1 back in for $250 plus tax. And they will send you a Sniper 2 with the adapter harness. So all of your wiring that's already done, you're still good to go. You literally put the Sniper 2 on, plug in the adapter harness to your original wiring that you already did, and turn it on. You have to go through the setup wizard and reset it up. But it's that easy. Yeah, we got little baby horseflies around here. Them things are mean.
They asked again, are you in contact with online mechanic?
I am the online mechanic, and I'm giving you the tips. But if you're scared of it, here's everything that comes in the box. Here's your instructions that come with the sniper. It lays everything out with colored pictures. It tells you how to do the wizard. It tells you how to wire everything in. MSD 6 series ignition. So yeah, there's the purple wire that I didn't know what it went to. So everything is in here. It tells you how to put the O2 sensor in. It tells you everything. Snipers are very simple. If you want an upgrade from a carburetor because you got to pump the gas or or you're having fueling issues, or you're trying to fight with jets and you don't want to learn how to do it like I really didn't, spend the money and buy this, plug it in, hook up the wires, and you are done. You turn the key on and you drive it like it's fuel injected. Best thing you can ever do. I think it's the best. Oh, I see the first sign of a used wire, which would be the ignition coil driver. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use these. I usually throw these in the trash. What's up? Bolt. Can I have that? Thank you. That's a quarter 20. So I've never used this before. It comes with it. Comes in the base kit. I think I'm going to need it because I am using an ignition coil, and this is the driver for it that I would assume interacts with the rev limiter feature. We've got a rev limiter now. You get a coolant temp sensor in your kit, which wasn't in the bag, so I'm glad I didn't just open my hand. But you get a coolant temp sensor, which you plug into your sniper. It's got all the wiring for it. It looks like they were going to put it on and then stopped. But nothing else has been out of the bag, so I think we're safe. It's got clamps and an O2 sensor bung, I guess you could call it, an adapter. I don't use those. And it comes with a Bosch O2 sensor. I know it's a Bosch O2 sensor because Sniper wanted like $100 and something bucks for this, and you can go to O'Reilly's and buy one for like $32. Yep. What else did we get that I didn't open up yet? There's a dual sync harness. I think I showed that a couple times already. We got the dual sync harness. We got every fitting that you could think of. We got straight. We got two of those. Another straight. We got a 45 of some sort. We got some nuts. We got some seals from Earl's.
Sorry, your mic died.
Mic died?
No.
They're listening to that fan jamming on the wood.
Didn't even notice the light turned off.
Back on? Alright. Sorry about the audio. It probably got weird because my mic died. But that's going to be about the extent of what I'm going to do tonight. We got the coil placed on the firewall. We got the first piece of the harness, which is the power feed for the sniper, and the fuel pump wire, which is included in that relay. It's all in one harness. I need to do some research. I need to see if we're even going to use the 6AL box or if I need to. I'm pretty sure that dual sync has a way that I can put a rev limiter in the distributor itself. But I think with the dual sync, I have to run the 6AL box to run the distributor. So I got to figure all that out. But there she be. We got a sniper, a dizzy. The only thing I'm short is a couple of gaskets, a set of lifters, and gas in the tank. Like, we're there. So if you guys want to stay up with me and keep watching it happen, don't forget to hit that subscribe button in the bottom. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, or if you hated it, let me know in the comments. Tell me I'm a hack. It is your opinion, and you are allowed to share it. So that's going to be it for tonight. We'll be back on probably tomorrow or the next day messing around with it and putting more parts in it once we got some daylight. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when we're going live, and I appreciate you guys, and I thank you. Have a nice day.